Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Must be Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We are here to do our normal Tuesday thing. I'm in Studio A, and Miss Fiona is in Studio B. How you doing, Miss Fiona?
Hey, how are you?
We are doing wonderful. Still glad to be alive. You know, the weather's beautiful in the Chicagoland area, and I'm telling you, boy, you can't get no better than this. I tell you, this is the best time of year in Chicago for me. I tell you, no snow outside. Anytime there's no snow, I love it.
I agree.
You agree?
hmm
All right,
Yes,
now.
and it's very hot out there.
Yeah. It's good hot weather. This is a good hot weather. You know, I'm
hmm
um I'm so excited today. I've got a friend to the show that I've been chasing after for 10 years. 10 whole years. Okay, 9.5 years. I've been chasing after her to get her on the show, and she is finally here on the show. So I'm so excited to have her on the show, and we're gonna
hmm
have a great time. Somebody got cartoons in the background at your house over there. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, you can hear the
Hold
cartoon.
on.
Yeah, yep. So while she's getting the cartoons turned down, we're going to go ahead on and start our normal shout outs that we do each and every show. Okay. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to all of the healthcare heroes that are on the front line helping our loved ones stay alive. And I tell you, I know a lot of people are so excited about Friday coming up in Chicago. All of the restrictions shall be lifted as of Friday, the 11th. So I'm excited about the fact that you guys get to go outside and play and do what you want to do. But I'm going to stay away from everybody because I know there's people still getting sick and dying from corona. So I'm going to be sure and I watch out for a little while before I decide to go out and play. But one of the reasons why I have been wearing this shirt, my doctor's shirt, is in solidarity to all of our healthcare heroes that are on the front line, helping us stay alive and sending our loved ones back to us. So salute you. We applaud you. You've done a great job all this time, keeping our families safe and alive. We appreciate you all. Can't thank you enough. And we're going to continue to shout you out because you guys do a great job on the front line. Also, want to give a shout out to all of the spiritual leaders that are on the front line. We have had, many spiritual leaders that are on the front line that have been doing their job, keeping us uplifted and motivated during this pandemic and keeping us excited about what's going on. We know that things are not going to be the same, they are different, and they have been keeping us informed on what's going on. So, a special shout out to Dr. Hunt, Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. He is my mentor and spiritual leader. Always like to give him a shout out every time we go live because he is a person that has been keeping me motivated and uplifted, for the last 30 years or so. So, if you don't have a mentor or a spiritual leader, you need to get one. They serve their purpose and they're worth their weight in gold. So a lot of times people hear me talk about Dr. Hunt, and I'm sure they want to know, well, who is this Dr. Hunt person? Well, let me just tell you where you can find him at. If you go over to ask-dr-ron.com, scroll up to the top, you'll see a YouTube tab, you'll see Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Those are all of my social medias. You can click on them, but especially go over to my YouTube channel. And as you go through my YouTube channel, you will see a playlist completely devoted to Dr. Hunt. For the last 30 years, I have accumulated a video library for him. So if you go over there, you'll be able to see some of his old tapes, and I promise you, you'll enjoy them. They're just as valuable today as they were 30 years ago. So definitely go check those out. While you're on my website, I want you to scroll down. You'll come to a place where you'll see all of my vendors and advertisers and all of my affiliates. Well, when you go through my advertisers, check out some of the people that help make this possible for us to be on the air. Check out Port Again Sam, who brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. He brings them here to Chicago for us to enjoy. So definitely check those out. RRJ Webb is over there. You want to check him out. If you have a desire to host a website, build a website, he can help you do it. He helped creates all types of websites. And if you've got a broken website, he can help you fix it. So Mr. Jenkins and RRJ Webb is there. We also have a host of other vendors there. Chief Nomo is there, who brings in from products from the west coast of Africa. We have other vendors that help make it possible for us to be here. As a matter of fact, Miss Fiona's got some vendors to tell us about.
Good afternoon. Our first vendor is Katropolis Child Care and Developmental Center, located at 8104 South Hospice Street here in Chicago. They offer before and after school programs. They are now enrolling children from 6 weeks to 6 years old, and it's summertime, so there's a camp that's getting ready. I was informed that there's a camp that's getting ready to start. So if you know anybody that's looking for childcare or before and after school needs, they offer e-learning and very good curriculum. Check them out. You can find the information on AskDrRon.com, or you can go to Katropolis Childcare at wixsite.com. And the other vendor that we have is Immaculate Educational Consulting. That is my personal business. I am in the process of revamping, rebranding it. But in the meantime, we are offering tutoring and educational business coaching and consulting. If you're interested in that, you can also go to immaculateeducation.com or askdrron.com.
There you go. So you got it. Please support our vendors and advertisers, all of our affiliates. We have them listed for easy access. If you click on any one of them, the flyers or the banners, it'll take you directly to their website so you can get their information directly from them. So, enough talk about that. I am so excited. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm so excited because we have an actress, a model, a superstar. I tell you, I have for the last 9.5 years, I've been trying to pin her down long enough to sit on the show with us for at least an hour. Okay. So I'd like to welcome to the show for the very first time the famous, the one and only Miss Katrina Love. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hello, hey everybody.
Well,
Hi.
so I know people are trying to figure out what's famous about you, other than you look beautiful. But
Oh,
I know last weekend you were like walking the runway and doing a fashion model thing last weekend. And then, you also appear reoccurring role in Chicago Med, right? Is that reoccurring? Yep, Chicago Med. So, you stay busy, you stay working. So, I mean, welcome to the show. I can't say it enough. Welcome to the show. You
well,
know.
thank you
So where you want
for
to
having
start at? You want to tell us about the
me.
modeling? You want to tell us about the acting? Where you want to start at?
Well, pretty much my story starts with modeling.
Okay.
That's where it all started. That's where it all began. I want to say back in maybe 2004. things kind of happened. I believe, right, maybe after my mom passed away. Yes, after my mom passed away. So I kind of just wanted to start doing something different. I came to Chicago because I was not living in Chicago at first. I grew up in Chicago. Don't get me wrong. I grew up in Inglewood. I want to put that out there.
So sorry.
So I get the like the suburb girl. You look, you talk, you don't talk ghetto. You don't look, man. I grew up in the city, in the heart of Inglewood, on 68th and Carpenter.
All
So
right
you know
now.
where that is, the heart of Inglewood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I done been around. I've been in, the projects, all girl gardens, Ida Wells. I done lived different places. So that's where it started. My background, a little bit of it. I had moved to Champaign, Illinois, however, and I was traveling back and forth going to school. I went to Delhi Beauty College, become a nail technician. So I went there and finished there and everything. But I just needed something else to do. I think I don't remember who got me started into doing modeling or how it all started. But I remember meeting this guy named Landis. Okay, he's known for makeup here in Chicago. He does a lot of makeup to the stars, and so he introduced me to some people as well. And from there is when I started meeting different people. Started doing more runway modeling and meeting different designers, fashion stylists, just the whole works of everything modeling. Um, I've actually taken classes for modeling. I remember learning from this gentleman named Mark David Carter back in the day. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he's done a lot of different shows here in Chicago. I think he's also been to New York and places as well. But just doing modeling, people think, oh, you just get on the stage and you just walk. No, no, there's a whole technique to it. There's a whole stance to it. Before you even start walking, there's a whole Model T that you need to do at the beginning before you can take off down the runway. So a lot of people just come on, walk up on the runway and just start walking. You want to have their presence before you start presenting the clothing. So there's a whole thing behind it. So I went through the classes. I mean, when he worked us for modeling classes to the point where your hips would hurt, your legs would hurt, everything was hurting, your whole body.
Wow.
Oh. so
Wow.
so I hear the passion in your voice about this. Do you think this is something that you would ever teach to others?
Yes, and a crazy thing is I have done that.
Okay.
I've taught modeling, I've taught acting classes as well. I was over at John Robert Powers in Schaumburg maybe like a couple of years ago teaching. And
Okay.
I tell you, I really enjoyed just being with the kids and, the teenagers and things like that. I really enjoyed that a lot and just helping give back.
So since we're talking about your modeling experiences, would you say that I know that there's different fashion trends, and first, like geographically, like New York has a fashion week, Paris has a fashion week, Chicago has, their fashion week or whatever they want to call it month. Because Chicago got to do it more than everybody else. So everybody else do a week, we do a month. You know, so, would you say that knowing the trends and the seasons of fashion, what would be your favorite, and what would you say is the best out of all the ones that you're aware of?
Wow. Actually, the thing is, I've only been in Chicago,
Okay.
to do modeling. However, what my favorite would be, it would, is definitely summertime wear, and also the gowns. So I love to do swimsuit. So, and I love the gowns.
Okay.
Just dolled up and walking the runway with a beautiful gown on. Now, it's kind of tricky because sometimes the gowns are flowing that you could trip over them,
Mm-hmm.
and God I tripped over them. You came close, but you got to hold it together. You
Okay.
know, I didn't model shoes where they were too big, and I had to make it work.
Mm.
Or the shoes were like you wouldn't have known it because you just got to make it look seamless.
Okay. All right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you say the swimwear and the gowns. So I know you were just in a runway walk, what, about a week ago or something like that, when you posted the pictures. Was that like, because I know seasons are not like normal seasons. So what we're looking at now coming out would be the winter wear, right? Is that what it is? So was that fall wear that you were doing, or
they had different designers there,
okay?
and you know, it's funny how I came about that show because I met this when like you said, I was just in Florida as well. You kind of know.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
'cause
I threw you under the bus. Yeah.
but the funny story is, I ran into this lady while I was in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
In And we were just, me and my cousin was just sitting on the bench and we just happened to overhear a conversation. And they're like, oh, we're doing a show in Chicago. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, I'm on. So, that's how that came about. And as they said, well, please, can you be a part of the show? I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good. And so again, it's been a long time since I've been on a runway. So I kind of just wanted to do it just to say, okay, I think you still got it. I wanted to see. And it brought back a lot of memories and a lot of fun. So I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely, yeah.
Okay. So now I got to throw the obvious question out there. With all these events coming up, fashion and runway and stuff, are there any concerns about Corona at any of these events?
Absolutely. Because while I was backstage, I had mask on, face shield on.
Wow.
It's crazy because before I actually went out, I was standing by the door. Luckily, they had us to stand backstage before we actually, the audience could see us. And so I was able to throw everything off real quick, sit on the table, and then go to, get on the couch, the runway, and then come on back and put it right back on
Okay.
because I'm not playing games.
Okay.
Um, Stay my distance. I kind of wanted to be in my own little corner. Um, the thing is, crazy story, as people were getting makeup done,
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there waiting, and from past experience, I know to always bring your own makeup.
Mm-hmm.
You never know because I've had a bad experience, and so I always bring my own just in case. And the crazy thing is, as I was sitting there waiting, I started to get anxiety.
Mm.
Anxiety was watching them. I don't know if they're going to clean the brush. Well, who's I don't know what they were doing. So all these things are coming through my mind at this moment as I'm sitting there watching it, and then my anxiety is like, what? Okay, what if she don't wipe that down good enough? What if she don't clean the brush good enough? What if she don't clean this sponge? What if I was like, you know what? I'll be back. I'm going to the bathroom and I do my own makeup because no, I couldn't do it. So
Okay.
yes, play a major factor now.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah,
right.
that's,
Now you were in the audience at a fashion show, what, about a month or so ago?
yes.
And I think you were saying that that was kind of like, really a bad experience watching it. So what was that about?
It wasn't a bad experience. It's just that, it was a good show. Um, the only thing I would say is that, just timing matters to people. You have to be very conscious of other people's timing if they're paying to come and watch your show, and
Mm-hmm.
just timing matters. And but everything else is fine.
Okay.
I know the person that puts on the show, uh, he does a pretty good job and he manages things by himself. So maybe that's why, but he's wearing a lot of hats. And so I can possibly understand with putting on a show that big or whatever, maybe that's what could have happened. But just, that's the only thing is be conscious of people's timing that, come
Mm-hmm.
to the show. And, so we're not sitting in the audience doing nothing for 2 hours. That's it.
I know that's right. You said
A
for
long
2 hours. Lord have mercy. CP time, huh? CP time. Yeah.
time.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. So what do you see the fashion industry in Chicago looking like? It's funny. Years ago, I used to have different fashion designers that used to come on my show. It was this one guy that used to come on, and his name was Francisco. And Francisco was that's how I learned about couture. I didn't know what couture was, design and fashion, until he came on and gave us a whole, example of what it was all about. So, and then I had another designer that came on my show, and all she did was blue jeans, and she was selling like $1,000 blue jeans, and I'm saying to myself, okay, $1,000 blue jeans. you know, that's all she. That's all she. That she had one design,
Yeah.
one product, one everything. Blue jeans. I was like, well, can you bring $1,000 pair of blue jeans so I can see what the hell they look like? Because I don't know. I ain't never seen $1,000 pair of blue jeans at that time or this
Yeah.
time. Okay, because she never did bring them. But that's all. That's all she designed, and it was interesting, you know, that people that have the mindset of design and what they do now, the Francisco was very flamboyant. Okay, he was like show up in capes and stuff. He was just that flamboyant. Look at you. He was
Wow.
serious. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and, and he had
Mhm.
done what's that hair design show in Atlanta, the big one that they talk about all the time. Uh, you
You're
know,
talking about, I can't think of the name of it. Yes, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
well, he's done that show many times, So what do you see, okay, you know, as the, foreground or what's ahead in Chicago fashion, as you might see?
Ugh, that, you know what? Because I haven't been in it recently, like I said, it's been a long time. It's been a lot of years.
Okay.
So I abreast of what's happening now with everything behind the scenes and with different designers now. So I'm not really sure with Chicago what they have, for the future. Not really sure, but I'm just hoping that with a lot of the Chicago shows that they bring different um styles to just I just want to see something totally different that I have never seen. Not something that you could have possibly bought in a store and then you paired it with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you said, something with jeans. Now you just ripping up jeans. Show me something totally different that
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. Oh wow. I need to see a wow factor walking down the runway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That,
Mhm.
I Miss Fiona. I know you've been listening long enough. Now we talking about fashion, so I know you can jump on her now. I know she got a list for you.
Well, hello, beautiful. How are you?
good. You?
I can't complain. Dr. Ron has bragged about you so much that I had to go do some research, right? And I see that you are a very, very busy woman, and it's very inspirational. Um, how would you describe a typical day for you?
Mm. Well, typical day is, well, waking up in the morning, definitely prayers. And secondly, smoothies. My health is number one. Um, yeah, that is number one. I'm
Mhm.
very health conscious. My smoothie, I have to have it every single day. People that have to have Dunkin' coffee or you have to have coffee, period, in the morning.
Mhm.
Smoothie is like coffee. Like I have to have it in order to function. And please don't talk to me before the smoothie because I probably won't remember what you said. I probably
Mhm.
can't answer anything that you're asking me because it's not there.
Mhm.
So um, after that, I just have normal. I have a smoothie, normal breakfast, oatmeal sausage or something like that. And right now, what I'm doing is working on my new business, which is Love Design, which
Mhm.
is apparel company like this T-shirt here. That is, I'll be definitely launching that one pretty soon. It's a love T-shirt. Um, so we'll have it for men and women. Uh, so I've been working on that since last year. During the pandemic, um, I was on set before that, So when I didn't know what was going to happen with Chicago Med or what have you, so I was like, oh, I got to think of something else to do. I don't know if we're going to start back filming or not. So I need income. I need to think of something. And just so happened, I was watching maybe a YouTube video, and the girl, she was doing a shirt. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. So I just start watching more and more of it. And one thing about me is if I see something, I like it, I'm interested, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's with so many things. And I'm more of self-taught a lot of stuff. I will jump in and be hands-on. And I knew nothing about pressing a t-shirt, vinyl. I knew nothing about nothing with the t-shirt industry at all, period. And so I watched it day in and day out for a couple weeks. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I got to get a heat press. Oh, I got to get this. What's a vinyl? Let me figure this out. Next thing I know, I have a whole office in there, t-shirt design. I learned the software, how to create designs. I learned all that pretty
Mm-hmm.
quickly, and I jumped in on it. So that's what I'm working on now. But other than that, if there's an event going on, I miss going out. I miss being at my events. I miss my music. I'm an R&B girl. So if there's an event, I want to be in the building. Mask, face shield, whatever. I'm putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
I do that, and pretty much I'm like a normal person. You run your errands and back to work or whatever. And I binge watch on TV. That's one thing about me. I love to binge watch. I will binge watch a show. That's for sure. So if I
Mm-hmm.
find time, I will definitely binge watch, and I will not answer the phone. So
Awesome. So I saw that. I don't even know which one to start because you're a beautician and actress, and um, if I could ask you about your acting, what do you like most about it?
ah, just the passion in the just bringing the characters to life, reading the script, and you pick up on it, and you're like, oh, so she gets to do this, so she gets to do that, and you give that energy to that person that you're connecting with, or that's the person that you're talking to. Just giving that
Mm-hmm.
energy off is great. It's a good feeling. Um, it's kind of hard to describe to someone that's not in those shoes, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really good energy. You have to have a passion for it because,
Mm.
yeah, I'll get more into that, but yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So a lot of actresses, they find a role, and that role to me can be repetitive in a different movie. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like like playing the same role. Do you find it to be easier to do that, or would you prefer to do different roles while you're acting in different movies?
I would prefer to do different. Like, I would prefer, like, say, for instance, there's Nurse Katrina on Chicago Med, but I want to be a police officer, or a detective. Um,
Mhm.
I love doing different things. I filmed a movie, and I would be glad when it comes out
Mhm.
because I actually played a detective, and I'm so looking forward to that. It was a
Mhm.
different experience for me. So just doing different, I would prefer, not to just be typecast. No.
Mhm. Yeah, I always, I always think about different things and what motivates people. So in that sense, what motivates you?
What motivates me to
Mhm.
just do acting?
Or just to do all, like you have, what is it, acting, beautician, and modeling. What motivates you to just tap into all your talents?
You know what? I think it's been in me since I was little. Because here's the crazy story. It's like I thought about it after the acting started and being in it for a while, and then it's like, I think I've already had this in me for some reason because I think I had to have been in the fifth grade. We had a talent show. I knew then, I guess I wanted to be a model because when they did the talent show, I was like, oh, I want to model. you know. So I've always done something, whether I was on the cheerleading teams up until high school. I was did every dance, African dance, modern dance, except for tap dance. So I've always done something where I'm in front of people. So I think it's probably always been there.
Mhm.
And I never forget my old cheerleading coach, Miss Taylor, she has these videos of us from back in the day. And so we all got together not too long ago and watched these videos. And she showed one of the talent shows. And then one of the talent shows was me modeling. And back then, I didn't know what modeling was. So you know
Mhm.
how you walk across the stage. You know, you go. We had, I guess, four corners to walk, right? And so each four corner, I would stop and pose. I tap my little feet together, pose, go to the next corner, tap and pose. I swear, I thought I was doing it. You couldn't tell me nothing. So I
Mhm.
think from then on, I knew something was there in me. I think it's been there all along. And it took now, it took till now to see, okay, wow, maybe it's something's really been there.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's like something that's outside of me that's saying, okay, well then that's motivating me. No. I think it's in me to
It's been
want
there.
to do, just want to do. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if I
Mhm.
see something, if I see it, I want it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna just go halfway at it. I guess I'm
Mhm.
gonna go to the fullest, to the extent I can.
Mm.
What's in my ability. And
And you're
so, mhm.
okay. So I just want to jump back to a statement that you said about while you're modeling, you love to do the summer wear, the bathing suits and the gowns. Could you describe what it feels like to be like to model your swimwear? Because it's like sometimes you could feel if you were like a comfortable outfit, you're just like comfortable. If you were in a I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but how do you feel when you're wearing your bathing suit when you're modeling?
Well, for me, for me, it's crazy because I've always been a thin person.
Hmm.
Just always been this size, and um, I guess I've always been comfortable. I'm more comfortable with less clothing. I don't know if that makes sense. I hate to say that.
Yeah, it makes sense, baby. Go ahead on. You can say that.
I was waiting for you to jump on
Hey, I'm gonna say amen.
See, I tell people, like, even my friends and family, I'm like, look, I think I was born in the wrong city. I think I've probably been born somewhere warm because
Yeah.
people say, well, you're always in Florida. I love being with less clothing, swimwear. That's just my nature. I just like it. I just love it. And I
Hey.
do I don't work hard, but I do make sure I maintain how I look. Like I said, I am health conscious and it's not on, it's how can I put it? It's not a choice pretty much. It is
Mhm.
something that kind of happened to me because I had health issues. So I had to change the way I eat. So, um, everything happens for a reason. So, yeah. And I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, if you look this way, why not just wear it? That's just how
Mhm.
Amen.
I,
Well, I think that that's important. One, as a black woman, to if you have what you have, then why not? I don't want to say like flaunt it to be
right.
arrogant, but it's like
No, yeah,
and then in the fact that you're modeling it, maybe that's an inspiration for somebody else to be like, wear that bathing suit, make yourself look sexy, or however that view of what you see about yourself, or whatever. So I was just
right.
curious as to.
Yeah, you have to have that number one inside of you, like that confidence. And
Mhm.
it's crazy that, sometimes, I would get certain looks, like if I go into a place or something, an event or whatever, and I'd be like, well, why are people looking at me like that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me because
Mhm.
I'm an introvert. I know it don't seem like it. I know Dr. Ron's gonna be like, always out, you always socialize. But to be honest,
Always.
I am kind of shy. When I go into a room, I'm not always like, oh, hey, girl. That's not me. That is not me. I am more
Mm.
sit back and take in the room. But I guess when I do walk in the room, it is a more confident walk, or I'm more confident when I am in some place. You know?
Mhm. Mhm.
But it's crazy that if someone really knew my inner thoughts, you know, it would be like,
Mhm.
"Oh, she's thinking that," but I don't put it off like that. So
Right.
if some people do maybe feel a little self-conscious, try to make it to where you don't put it out there like that. Reverse that. So you can think whatever you want in in your mind, but then when you step into a room, you want to put off like I'm comfortable. You want to
You want to own the
keep
room. You want to own the room.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which still, if you're thinking up here, maybe it's like I don't feel as confident. Keep that up there. But you walk into that room, you better show it. You
yeah,
better
yeah,
walk in with
yeah.
confidence.
Own the room. Yep,
People
yeah.
knew what
Mhm.
I was thinking, they'd be like, oh, okay.
Well,
But
it's a good thing there's no captions over your head. Like people can
Right.
see what's going on. Oh, did she just say that?
I have different things. People like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You through, Miss Fiona?
Uh, yeah, for now.
Oh, she said for now. Uh,
okay.
yeah. Well. Since you started talking about acting a little bit, so I know that you have a reoccurring role on Chicago Med. Are there other reoccurring roles that you're working with now? I know you just said you did a movie. So, well, you were a police officer. So, are there other things that you are doing right now?
Right now, I guess because again, like because of the pandemic, for me, things have kind of been a little slow taking in. So I'm just, hey, I'm here, I'm ready. When that script or whatever agent calls and says, hey, I got this role for you, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to,
So
yeah.
you say you
So
you like everybody else in Chicago, ready to get back to work. Yeah.
yes, but
So
in the meantime, hey, I'm gonna enjoy.
so I know you mentioned that you took dancing when you were younger. So would you consider yourself a dancer, model, actor, singer? You sing too?
No, in the shower
In the
or in the
shower?
car.
Okay. All right.
That's a good
So
question.
I've just heard people say, "Well, you can sing." Like, I don't know if people know. Okay, I'm gonna rewind a little bit too. Couple of things real quick. A lot of people may not know about me as well. With modeling, first is that I was in Ebony magazine in 2005. So that was my first big thing that I've done with modeling. Fast forward, um, you just asked me. What the heck? Um, Fast forward till now, you know, it's it's been crazy. I can just only say I've been blessed to get to this point, to
hmm
where I am. You know, yeah, because it's been a crazy ride to get this far.
okay. All right, so now I'm finna go ask all the questions that all the men on the line are waiting for me to ask. Uh, 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 James
Yeah.
Jackson just said, "Congratulations, cuz from you, love, family, continue your goals." Chris said, "Good afternoon, Dr. Ron, Fiona, and to your guest, Katrina Love." So we got folks watching that are
Yeah.
chiming in. James said, "I see you, cuz very touching." So you got folks chiming in that see you out here. So understanding how television and movie roles go now, and since you said you're very comfortable in your skin with bathing suits, so how comfortable are you if somebody presented a role to you where you got to do a love scene on camera?
And doing a love scene, it depends on if it's um with what do you mean by that? Now I did a short film where it was nothing that crazy or anything. It's just a kissing scene on screen. But I am comfortable with that. Now, when it comes to full nudity, I don't know about that.
Uh,
That's
so
a different
so
story.
so so you couldn't do She's Gotta Have a Chicago version. You couldn't do that, huh?
But
Wait, what is that?
Oh, she's got to
yeah,
have it. That was a New York Spike Lee's very first movie. You know, she's got to have. You got to go do some homework. That one was his first one that launched his career, and there was a
mhm.
lot of nudity, a lot of love making in that movie. You know, then he went on to do a TV series. So I'm
Right.
surprised nobody has picked up a Chicago version of She's Got to Have It yet, because
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, you know, because that would be something that probably would be just as popular as the
Mm.
original versions of it. They can probably do it in every city, Atlanta version, LA version, you know, that would be something to carry on. So you say you're not comfortable going that far on screen, huh?
I don't know that. I think, they will have to do the proper coverage. They will
Okay.
have to get the proper.
All right. So now would you ever model lingerie?
In the past, I have done that.
Okay. All
That
right.
was something I
I'm gonna have to go look for them videos. But go
got.
ahead.
If I haven't found them.
Well, you know they got everything on out there now, so you know somebody got them. They're gonna put them out there on YouTube. You know, so
Oh,
you said, "Oh wow," she said, "Oh wow." Now she's nervous. Now she's nervous. It's too late now. Now a little while ago, you know, you segued into your business. I know before you had a business in the past, and now, I mean, people see your website scrolling across the screen, the katrinalove.com. And I'm assuming that you have your t shirt line listed on your website.
not on the acting website.
Okay, this is just your acting website. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us more about the t-shirt part of what you're doing. Is it just the one design that you're modeling now? Do you have other designs? And if they're interested, where would they be able to find more information about your t-shirts to support you?
Sure. Well, the business name is Love Designs, and pretty much we're inspirational and motivational apparel company. It started, mainly for women because my brand is Love Our Glamour. I started with Love Our Glamour, which was hair extensions, handbags, and so sold to only women. Okay, so it's motivation,
What you trying to say? I
inspiration.
can't get a hair extension?
Oh, I've seen flawless. They are flawless. We gonna die. But so you can find it at Love Designs. That is LOVE Designs with a Z on the end. That's the twist to it. Okay. And it's a lot of designs on the page. It's a lot of different t-shirts, different styles, different colors, and things like that on the page. I believe it's like maybe 40 different products on the page.
Okay.
We also do hats. Um, what else? Mask. We were doing masks as well too. So I can pretty much customize things as well. I've done custom orders where people say, "Hey, I need custom order for my family reunion or a family event, whatever you're having." Also, with this new shirt that's love, I want to bring this out for men and women because it is love,
Mm-hmm.
and also I want to have a couple do model the shirts as well. So I'm also going to be trying to figure that out and finding a couple to model the shirts, husband and wife, where they can show love. Now, this shirt has a heart on it, but the man shirt will not have a heart on it. So
Okay.
it's going to be different and still say love. Yeah.
Okay. And how soon are you going to be presenting that to the public?
Probably within a week or so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's coming out soon.
Yes.
Strategically, you all, she came on the Ask Dr. Ron show right in line with the launch of her design. I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all hear it. Y'all hear it
In
here. Yes. Yes. Perfect
the past,
planning.
hmm,
Perfect
she's
planning.
been a lot.
Yes. Yes, yes. So I know that you do a lot of like I think last week you were at the Naperville Festival and a couple other places. So, are you just drawn to these things? You know about them, or you know artists that are on these events? So, what's this passion of yours being everywhere?
Oh, what it's not really a passion of being everywhere. It's more of I love live music and I love R&B.
Okay.
I grew up, just R&B. There was times where, growing up, we couldn't literally go out the house. And so I had, TV was what, like black and white or something like that back then. Didn't have TV channels or whatever the case may be.
You ain't even
But
old enough to know about no black and white TV. Don't even try
oh yeah, the channels. It was something like that. But I had was music. And I remember back then, I used to just sit there and listen to the radio. I had my cassette player. I would pull out my cassette. I would record the songs and then I would write them down. I would write down the whole lyrics to all the songs. I would sing them. I just love music. And so, I just like being out. And if I can go to a concert, I'm going to a concert.
All right now.
And friends in the industry that actually manage some artists and put on concerts and things like that. And I've just been fortunate to work around people and know people that put on these events. And so, like, even back in the days, I used to go to a lot of Country Club Hills events because I knew the person that put on events there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to
So,
be there quite a bit myself. Al, were you back there when Al was doing it? Yeah, yeah,
Al was the
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Al
And
Kennedy.
I
Yeah,
met here. I met D.L. Hughley. I met Kim. I met a lot of people just being at those Country Club Hill events. And then, by me working for the event for him, helping set up their dressing room and things like that, it was
hmm
more personal. Be Gladys, she was a sweet person. And then when I would go back, he's like, "Oh, come on, Trina, no problem."
yeah.
Hey,
Until
didn't have
until they made
I
her
just
mad. Did you see when the time when they made her mad? Ooh, Gladys got mad. Ooh, she got so mad
she,
she snapped.
she did not eat in the room I set up for her. She did not eat in there. She ate on her bus.
Right. She went
She,
to her bus, and as soon as the show was over, she got on her bus and left. They made
but
her mad. Ooh,
she was
God. Oh yeah, she's sweet. Now Gladys is cool. She's not normally that type of person, but she didn't go to their
nice.
hotel. She
Have
just
to be
like,
something.
look, they made her mad. And it was because she used to come the first 2 or 3 years in a row, she used to be like the opening act for Country Club Hills. And
Okay.
so she had been here before. Just like Kim had been here like 3 or 4 years in a row. They used to bring him every year. One year they bought him twice, because he was about the only show that sold out.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep, you're right. They
Yeah,
did. They did.
yeah. They were like, "Can we get him again?" you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have fun, just meeting different people. When you go to those events, you got to meet somebody else, and you meet somebody else. And so it's like, okay, I'm meeting these people, and they're like, oh yeah, come on to the show. Let me know
hmm
when you want to come. Okay, tell me nothing. Look, you didn't got to say it twice. Okay, look, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call you. Sit with you.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
just be
it's been and they're not opening this year. I think they rented it out for one event so far, Country Club Hills Theater. They only had like on one of the coldest days of the year, raining and cold. They had the tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire out there.
okay.
They did that about a month or so ago. I mean, it was cold and rain. It looked like it was about to snow, but I think they
Mhm.
rented the theater out itself. It wasn't something that the city was hosting.
Okay.
This year they don't have an actual calendar. But I'm not sure. Have you talked to Al? What's going on over at the Horseshoe? Is he back in over
I
there yet?
saw, you know what? The last time I saw Al was I went to see Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Joe, and it was Joe, Drew Hill, Avant,
Mm-hmm.
and that was what 2019. Yeah,
Okay.
because 2020 was the pandemic, so 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to stage and everything. He saw me. He was like, "Hey, superstar, both of them." You know how Al is. And then I know his partner, Luther.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I've
Yeah, I
known
know
Luther as
Luther.
well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's like, Luther said, I saw you way down the way when you walked in. I'm like, oh, you did?
See that
He's like,
that's
I knew that.
that owning the room thing, you know. See, when you own the room, everybody see you. You're like, oh hey, come on over here, gal. You know, yeah. You know, they got a
Yeah.
you know, they had the grand opening for the Hard Rock, so a lot of stuff is going to be going on over there coming up this year. They haven't booked too many things yet, but I understand that uh, I can't even call his name, having a brain fart. But a few people have gone over there to try to begin to start setting up shows over at the Hard Rock. So they just opened that up like in the last month or so. So they're still trying to put it together. People are kind of going slowly back towards, you know, events. I know that Broadway is scheduled to open up 21-22 season, and that is kind of like an earmark for things trying to turn back towards entertaining crowds. So I've
Hmm.
always, you know, whatever Broadway is doing, that's a good example of what's going to happen everywhere else. Like Chicago, Broadway in Chicago is starting to bring back shows. They're rehearsing now. So we may, towards the beginning of 22, begin to see things back on stage like we're accustomed to seeing them. I'm still gonna stay at home. I ain't ready to go out yet. You know, yeah. I'm just, you know, not 100% sure on, you know, these germs floating around in the air. You know, I'm just trying to wait to see what's happening. See, I ain't cute, so germs will jump on me. Okay. Yeah, see, y'all cute. See, both y'all can walk around, you know, and a germ won't touch y'all. But as soon as
We
I go outside, the germ will be to knock me upside my head and drug me down the block, okay? You know?
You gotta take vitamins. You gotta keep your immune system
Oh,
up,
I do.
like
I
high
do.
immune system. So I think you'll be just fine.
I
Put your
look,
mask on,
I
face
I
shield on.
take I take 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day.
Well,
Okay.
what you scared of? Going outside.
So Fiona, did you have any more questions? You know, let me hurry up and change the subject.
The only thing I would the only thing I would the last thing I would ask is, in the event that you have accomplished a lot, what are some things that you would share with younger people um to help them get through the business and how to network like yourself? What are some things that you would share with them?
Well, first and foremost, you have to have a passion for whatever it is you want to do. Whether it's acting, whether it's dance, whether it's being a chef, I don't know, whatever it is, you have to have a passion for it. Because if you're doing it just to do it, or you're doing it because somebody else is doing it, it's not going to last. Um,
Mhm.
so um, definitely have a passion, number one, and find the right resources to, accomplish what you are trying to accomplish. When it comes to acting, definitely find the right resources. Go to workshops. I started going to workshops. I started different, like I said, going to different workshops. Then I started doing background work. I was a background girl for a minute, and so, you know, yeah, that was,
And look, make no mistake, extra work is very lucrative. You can get
yeah.
extra work and get a nice paycheck. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy thing is, when I first started, when I first started doing anything with film, I started on Empire for, Empire, known as Empire. And so when they called me and say, "Hey, yeah, we want to have you on as stand-in," I'm like, "I don't know what that is." She's like, "Well, you could just Google it." I'm like, "Okay." I didn't know what it was. And so I'm like, "Okay, well, let me find out." And it's like, "Okay, we want to have you as a stand-in. You're going to be standing in for the character named Camilla." I'm like, "Okay." I was just excited because this is me coming back being sick for a year or so and losing a lot of weight, and I hadn't been modeling or doing anything. And so I just jumped back out there and said, well, let me just see what's out there. And so I'm like, okay, I'll play the role and do the stand in for Camilla. And when they told me who Camilla was, it's like, well, Camilla is played by Naomi Campbell. Like, wait. And at the time, it didn't resonate, it didn't click. I was writing it down because I was so excited. And I left the restaurant because I was in a restaurant ordering food. I was like, okay, wow, yeah, I can do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a minute. Naomi Campbell? Wait a minute. Model Naomi Campbell. And so it kind of went back like, wow, here I am, done modeling, and idled her, as I watched her walk running for years. And here I get to stand in and be her body double. I mean, I was like, that's a good way to start out, right? So
Mhm.
just being on that set, I didn't know how it was to be on the set. I was just watching it evolve, the scene with the lighting, everything. I swear, I was like, wow. And so the guy, he was standing in for Terrence Howard, and he had been there before, and he's done this before, background or standing. And so he was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." He said, "Well, you just like you just stuck, and you just." I'm like, "Look, I ain't never seen this before. I'm just." And at that moment, I was like, "I love this. I gotta come back. I hope they have me back." And next thing I know, you're gonna be there for the rest of the season. I'm like, "Okay."
Wow.
Now, what the kicker was, I gotta tell you this quick story. I don't know how much time I got, but this quick story is that they had me really body double for Naomi Campbell, and I guess she had to leave or something, had to catch a flight. She had to literally leave the set, and abruptly she had to leave. They didn't know she was leaving, but abruptly she said, "I gotta go." She left, and so they're like, "Okay, well, we need you to body double right now." I'm like, what? What? Here's the script. You got 5 minutes to read over the script. Go to hair and wardrobe. Let me get you together. Change your clothes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, what's going on? The next thing I know, I'm literally sitting on the set with all the cast, Taraji, Terrence, Jamal, Hakeem, all of them. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? And I'm like, okay, remember this. Remember the script. I'm too nervous to remember anything. Okay, I ain't never been around them like that. Especially Taraji and Terrence. These are personal winning people. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna call action." You already know the drill. I'm like, "Okay, yeah." And as I'm sitting there, here comes Hakeem, and it's actually Naomi's scene with Hakeem. And so he comes over, does his lines. I say the lines that Naomi's supposed to say, and that whole thing went on. They call cut, and next thing I know, I just felt poor. It was poor. Well, I swear, it felt like somebody was just pouring water down my armpits. I was so nervous. I was that my entire. And so here's the kicker. Terrence Howard looks at me and says, "You can breathe now." Yeah, okay.
You did it.
Over. The director's like, "You did a good job." I'm like, "I did." I don't even know what I said. I don't even remember. I just know I'm hard for whatever to come out of my mouth. Let it be the right thing, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful story. Beautiful story. Well, look, it's been an hour. We got to get out of here. You know,
All
Yeah.
right.
yeah. Before we go, I want to thank you once again for coming. Only took 10 years to get you here, but you finally here. I appreciate you finally making it. You gonna come back and see me again sometime?
Certainly, I have more to talk about.
Okay, good, 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 good. Well, look, before we go, I want to invite everyone to go over to ask-dr-ron.com. Support all of our vendors. Click on all of the social media, subscribe, like, and share. We need your support. Our vendors need your support. They make it possible for us to do what we do here. Appreciate each and every one of you that have been listening and tuning in. Marilyn Sims, I see you shouting out and laughing over there. Um, please share this, share it. You know, we need to let everybody know where Katrina's at. You see her website scrolling on the screen, thekatrinalove.com. Go over there, check it out. Keep an eye out for her clothing line, all of the stuff that she's got coming up. We're gonna make her model these clothes next time. You know, we just gonna, you know, nothing but the clothes. Okay, we ain't gonna talk. We ain't gonna let you talk. We just gonna let you spin around in circles. Okay, how's that?
Okay.
We're gonna let you do that. So,
Awesome.
so before we get out of here, what would you like to leave with the people, Miss Katrina?
You know what? Like I said, if anything you want to do in life, please follow your passion. Don't do something just to do it. It has to be within your body, within your soul, within your mind, everything. So definitely keep striving, keep pushing. You're gonna get
All right. All right, Miss Fiona, what you got for the people this week?
Just gonna piggyback off of Mrs. Love and just ask for what is your passion. Have a good weekend. See
All
you
right.
on Sunday.
Yep. See y'all on Sunday. All right. So look, y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all stay right there. Look, we're gonna throw this up here. If you all want to make contributions and donations to help keep us afloat here, this is our information. Please, please, please support what we're doing here. We need your support. We appreciate each and every person and all the contributions that you make. So here's the information. And we'll see y'all next week too. Love y'all.